Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, this is just going to be a little rant. I've got this stuff out here just to satisfy people that are looking for nice stuff. But I'm going to talk about what I've been going through the last couple of days and how I'm processing it. But I want to talk about one of the last incidents and basically how it was brought on by, this is the main topic. There's a stereotypical type of person that just complains about everything, and that's called a Karen. There are male Karens, and people have various nicknames for them. But Ken, like in the Barbie doll and stuff, Ken. Ken is a good nickname for a male Karen. Well, that's what this guy with supposedly allergies has, and he's been filming my front door with cats on it and stuff and sending it to the front office complaining. And when this confrontation happened out there, he was what triggered it. This is what it is. And in the fight that I might have potentially gotten into, the person had nothing to do with it other than potentially being a witness for this, Ken's lawsuit. And talking to the maintenance guy and everything, I found out what's going on with that. He was trying to he wants to get out of his lease because of the stray cats. And they said, fine, you can get out. You can get out. He wants to move out. They said, you can get out, but, in your lease, it says you've got to pay an early termination fee. And he doesn't want to pay it. He's trying to say that they defrauded him by not telling him about the feral cat population around here, that there was so many. And they're not buying it, and they're saying, no, you just have to go if you want to go. But the maintenance guy was also telling me that cats basically have they have a free pass in the city because they don't run around. Animal control doesn't run around to try to catch them. He might be exaggerating a little bit because they do have traps and stuff, but they basically feral cats are fair game around here, and you really can't control what goes on in an apartment complex. It's not gated, it's open, and there is all kinds of houses around here, private houses. So here's the old apartment complex, and let's say that's the new one over there, the Section 8 housing, the 3-story buildings and all that. That's over there. This is us. And then all around it, if you shrink this back down, and this is a bigger map, all of this around here and all around is residential. Residential. Think about it. Garage, little lawn, little backyard, boom. Garage, a little line, cookie cutter. I'll show you a map sometime, but yeah, so the cats and people could come from anywhere, but mostly what we get is people coming from Section 8 housing, come over here because this is fixed up a lot more. It's got trees, it's got the gazebo there, and that's where people can hang out and talk and everything. But this is private property. I mean, this is just like the pool. That's not a public pool. That's only for the residents. And they don't complain usually about people using the gazebo unless they're not living here and doing a ruckus. And that's happened. You have a bunch of teenagers get over there, because school's nearby. They get out and they want to come by and hang out, and they'll sit there and cause a ruckus and everything. And they can be driven off. And so this guy that was getting all mad, first off, he was not a resident. He was saying, like, how do you know I'm not a resident? What got me mad was he was sitting there and I'm on my back porch, and just because I'm filming something, I definitely was filming them. He gets all upset at me and starts getting aggressive. Yo, this is a warning. What are you warning me about? This is a warning. You better stop recording me. Oh, I can call the cops. Go ahead, call the cops. I didn't say that. Go ahead, call the cops. But he probably thought I was an old man that was just, like, what are you doing? This really is my backyard, though. I look out there. I open up. If you were to step, all my balcony is more like a porch. It's not like your backyard of even a small house, you know. So I step out of my porch and I just look out there. Now, like I said, if I would have had my cell phone camera, I was trying to be inconspicuous about it. I admit, I was sitting over there throwing leaves off, and I had my cell phone camera up on my shoulder like this, and I was recording. And that black guy saw it because his eyes were looking. Here was here's a black guy sitting here, and here's the. I gotta get something. We gotta give something tiny for the Karen. Well, we'll just call him a light bulb. He's like a dim light bulb, all right, a failed light bulb. And this guy's over here, and they're talking, and my balcony is up like this, up on this angle. So the guy's sitting there talking to Ken, and Ken's right here, and so his eyes could, not only while he's talking to Ken, he can see me on the balcony. And I'm not trying to hide on the balcony. I wasn't crawling on my hands and knees or hiding underneath the screen or anything. I was right there. But I was interested in what was going on because he's talking about lawsuits. So that's what's going on. This guy is, he's a Karen. And look what they're doing. What he wants, basically, is he has special needs. In his case, he has supposedly an allergy to cats. All right? I doubt that that's really seriously the case. I think this is more of a lawsuit scam, trying to get out, it's a money thing. But I thought it was involving me. He doesn't know what kind of money I got. I didn't realize, he probably would have gone after the complex because they're the ones that got money, not me. But I don't like being involved with it anyway. And if you start using me and involve me on something and you're a Karen, yeah, I'm gonna get in your face. Basically, I'm gonna interrupt your easy flow of messing with me. Because I'm not that way, man. I told that black guy, I said, I understand, man. You get a little challenge and everything. I'm the same way when you get aggressive with me. If you get aggressive with me, I'm gonna get aggressive right back. Now, the guy that's sitting down there talking to me doesn't know that I'm packing. I've got a pistol in my back pocket. If this gets serious, he had his hands in his coat pocket. If he came out with something, if he came out with an airsoft and aimed at me, yeah. I might not see that orange tip. But it didn't come out that way, but it could have. And that's just like the maximum stress. He caused all this. First, I had to worry about cats. That's why I was thinking about getting a Ring doorbell, and it's not going to work. But I got a doorbell camera, because I wanted to see when the cats were there. I wanted to be able to respond right away, and that puts a lot of stress on you, day or night. You got to worry about, is a cat? What if I slept a little bit longer because I'm exhausted? Oh, well, the cat might be there, and that Karen might come by, or that Ken might walk by and take a picture, and then I'm going to have to deal with the possibility of getting evicted. This all adds up. And then while all this is going on, some guy wants to front me, wants to tussle. Oh, man. You don't know how much I would like to get down there and just scrap with that guy and show him, all right, man, I may be old, but you have made a wrong assumption about me. I will get into a fight with you if I get pushed far enough, And the thing is, I'm smart enough now to know that that's no longer possible. The young you that would scrap with that guy or even jump over the balcony. All right, sucker, let's go. Let's get it on. That was that's a figment of your imagination. That was a long time ago. First thing you would do if you jumped over that was they would have to call an ambulance for your hips being broken or something, It would be hilarious. It would not be the way you think it is. And that's why I say you get tested all the time throughout your life. I don't care how calm and zen you are or whatever. There are going to be people that try to push you one way or another. They can push you with words. Like somebody was trying to tell me that words, there's no way that words could hurt you and everything. And that's why I say I disagree. Words have caused a lot of stuff. How do wars start? Because somebody gets in a propaganda thing and they start talking about the other people and they start creating them into subhumans. They're animals, they're the insects, they're the yellow peril, you know, uh, just dehumanize them so that it's easier to off them. You can off an animal easier than you can off a human. There's that moral thing that's going on, you know. But yeah, all of this is just because he wants somebody to apparently go in front of him and vacuum in front of him so no pet dander gets in front of him. Well, you really should not be going to an apartment complex that allows you to own pets. Right there, you're going to run into pets. People are going to walk them. There's going to be pets, around and everything. He wants, I guess, a sterile environment. So that's why I think, also, after I was talking to the maintenance guy and everything, I realized also I was talking to that pet guy, the guy that likes pets too. His name's Don. And Don was like, tell me where he's at, I'll slash his tires. I'll get him. And he was one that was when I was filming. He was walking by and he was just yelling out loud, I'll get you, Ken, or something like that. I told him, I don't even know the guy's name. I don't want to know his name. And I know where he lives and I know what he looks like now and everything. I didn't even want to do that. I just didn't want to know that. But now I do. And, man, oh, you talk about the evil side of your brain. Man, I got a good one. I got a good one here. All right, if the guy was really allergic to cats and everything, there's one way to test it out. You take a hairbrush that I've been using to brush the cats with and brush his door with it. And my mind said to do that. I really did. It was I'm fighting it. It's saying, you should do this. If he's just scamming, it won't do anything. But the thing is, if he really is allergic to it, I could really mess him up. And that's the thing. I know how to mess him up. I can mess him up. I can mess his vehicle up. That to me is the chicken shit way of doing it. It's better to just confront him straight up and say, look, I don't like you. You don't like me. You stay out of my business and I'll stay out of yours. You get into my business and I'll get into yours. And I can take it as far as you want or as little as you want. It's up to you. But you're a nuisance. And you've been hassling me and causing me issues. Cut my hand, trying to get the rage out of it, worrying about my apartment. And I've had to lose 2 of my friends. Even Mama Kitty, even though she's pregnant and she's a cat and everything, she was a nice cat. She was a sweet cat. I wasn't hurting anything by feeding her down there. She should have been taken care of. But I don't have the money. It's not my mission to sit here and find to either neuter and spay every stray cat that comes up or to not feed them. My mission basically is I look at stray cats as the way I look at people also. If someone's in need and someone is really in need and I can help them, I will. And the hell with the laws and the regulations and all this other stuff. I'll go out of my way to feed a starving cat and to take care of them. I will. I'm not going to apologize for that. But if it comes down to where it's being held over my head that if you don't change your behavior, we're going to fine you $300 for every cat you feed. Wow. Man, that's one way to get you to comply. That's always been one way to get you to comply is financial fines. We may not be able to get you to obey, with these words, but if we slap you with enough fines, you're going to find out it's going to cost you financially for your actions. Like, wow. But even that is all turned around now because I captured the mama kitty and was actually, I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposedly going to knock $100 off my rent. And with Buddy, I don't want $100 knocked off my rent. You know what they could knock off? $100 off the pet deposit if they allow me to, then I would only be $200. They can do it that way, if they want to give me any commission for capturing Buddy. But I don't want any money for that because my reward with this was going to be that Buddy has a better life. Buddy has a longer life. That was what my objective was. I would hope it would be with me, because he was like me, when when I met Buddy, I still had not completely gotten over losing Sparky. My last cat. I told myself, no, and I'd gone for years with this. It wasn't like, oh, it'll just take me a month or two to get over losing a cat. No, years. Uh, and with Buddy, he was kind of the same way. He was like, hey, I don't trust humans. I don't want to be around humans. And I didn't try to feed him. I mean, I didn't try to pet him. I just, whenever I saw him down there on the gazebo, see, a lot of the gazebo's the center of a lot of stuff. It's the center of the compound out there and everything. And that's where I met Buddy. That's where a lot of the cats fight. They'll fight anywhere. But, you're never going to get rid of all the stray cats that come around here. And because I'm like the Pied Piper of cats, yeah, there might be a cat sitting by my doormat waiting for me to come out. And, if push comes to shove, I'll admit that, yeah, I feed stray cats. If it's against the law, it's not against the law, but it's against the regulations here. I'm going to get to where I'm complying with that because I no longer feed Buddy. I no longer feed the mama cat. The only food now that I've got, Shadow did come by today, just briefly, to have some food. And when he went to leave, Ken was at the bottom of the stairs in his car, I think. But Shadow, he wants to eat and then he wants to run out. And I said, all right, now, we're being watched, Shadow, so I got to on body cam. You better go down these stairs quick. And he went out and then he froze. I said, what's the matter? And I stepped out there, and he wasn't on the landing, but his car was running down there. So I thought, oh, great, he's filming. He's taking picture now because he had walked past earlier. Shadow had only been in, he only stayed in about 5-10 minutes. So the guy must have walked past and saw now a black cat. First it was a mama cat, up there that was on my doorstep. And then it was Buddy. And now it's a black cat. And I thought, man, here we go again. Am I going to have to go through this with Shadow? But, the thing is, yeah, I will. If they want me to trap Shadow, I will. But I'll do the same thing. I'll say, all right, I'll adopt him. That would be like the worst situation because maybe maybe they would eventually learn to get along with each other, but Buddy and Shadow are they're not sworn enemies, but they're enemies. I mean, they're not friends. Let's put it that way. They're not friends. You've seen some videos where they just, and then I've seen them fight too. So it's more than just words with them. But usually it's verbal. Shadow will start growling or whatever. Say, hey, don't start anything. So, anyways, yeah, that's the thing. I think that these people that are entitled, that think the world owes them whatever, are wrong. And I'm not saying that. I know there are people that have written me that have allergies that still take care of cats. I mean, not written me, commented and stuff, and I'm not against them, because they're not letting it say that I hate cats. It's just like I'm allergic to cats. I have this reaction, and I can't help it, but it affects me in this way, like congestion or whatever, hives, whatever they get, And yeah, that's something that's physical. That's, no matter what you feel about mentally about it. This guy is a Karen, though. Instead of realizing he screwed up, and he didn't do his due diligence, and he picked the wrong place to be in a pet-free environment, he wants to blame everybody else. Look at this guy. He's feeding the animals, and look at this. You guys owe me laundry cleaning services because I'm dragging in pet dander, What, from your car door to there? You're gonna, what are you doing, licking my doormat? What the hell's going on? How's this affecting you that much? Oh, they run up and down the stairs. I don't know what he says. I don't know what his logic process is. But that's what's been driven me to the edge. It's a Karen, a Ken that, in the old days, the way we would handle this, it wouldn't be with firearms, but we'd settle it. I mean, we'd get out there and we'd just have a a verbal discussion, and if he wanted to settle it with fists, that's the way it would have been done. But that was a long time ago, and even then, a lot of that didn't happen that way. Somebody, you're gonna meet somebody somewhere, and he shows up with his friends, or yeah. There's no such thing as a fair fight, because the other guy, by nature of someone winning, the other guy was more powerful than them and more skilled. Was that fair? No. But fights are not fair. That's one of the first things you learn in life. And the sooner you learn it, the quicker you learn it. But that also requires a lot of reservations, because if you're easily angered and you have the means of, ending someone else's life on your person, you have to control yourself. You have to not let yourself get raged out, and know that I've been able to do that. I've been able to, in life or death situations, have something in my hand that could end someone else's life from a distance, and the distance wasn't that far away, and they were threatening my family. Yeah, that takes a lot of control. That takes a lot of control to go through that, and you will suffer, even if nothing happens, because of the stress of it. Anyway, I mean, I did because it was traumatic. So I've been through a little bit of trauma recently, and I'm ready for some mellowness. Let's just get back to where just knives are cutting me instead of life is trying to cut me. But yeah, if you're a kin, and you're watching this and you're thumbing down and everything, yeah, you should grow a pair, And if that sounds sexist or whatever, then yeah, it's because you're a male, and males should act in a certain way, and one of them is not be all sissified and passive aggressive about stuff. If you want to be aggressive, get aggressive. If you want to be passive, but don't be in between. Don't use all your attacks through proxies. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. If you got a beef with me, then have a beef with me. Don't go roundabout with it and stuff. Because if I feel threatened, I can definitely handle myself. I can handle myself in so many different ways. That's what I'm trying to control, is my own self now. You put me in this situation. There's people that will put you in a situation where you know what you want to do to them, or you can do to them, and your whole struggle is no control. And I'm not talking about, if you use religion, that's fine. If that's what you're worried about, if you're worried about God punishing you, for not doing it correctly, or you're not behaving, like God would, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about morally, how am I behaving and everything. And I know it is incorrect to solve your issues with physical violence when you can solve it some other way. Sometimes they give you no choice. Sometimes it just, all your choices went down to, whoop, the only way you're going to get out of this unscathed, and possibly not even unscathed, is if you commit violence. That's called self-defense. Defense, get that? Not self-offense. And so that's what I'm trying to keep my mind from doing. I'm trying to keep my mind from being on offense. And I think it'll handle itself out. I'm just, it's another one of those, because I lost a lot of sleep over this. I've gone through a lot of stress. And it's all because of a person that thinks the world owes them special privileges all the time. And I'm here to tell him it doesn't. And I'm here to tell people to get aggressive with me. You want to get aggressive? I'll get aggressive back. But I'm not going to be triggered. I'm not going to let it be triggered. But if you want to bring it, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. There's a part of my mind that's ready for anything. Ready for anything. I'm not afraid of any human being. I respect the fact that there's a lot of people that are much stronger than me and could take me out physically, but I'm not afraid of any human being. I'm just not. I get scared of things, ideas like, uh, getting evicted. I know I can handle that again, but just the fear of the unknown. What will happen? What could happen? You know, what if this? What if he? What if he calls him on this? You know, I've already got. My mind has already come up with responses to that. But sometimes that's what you need is time. You need time to process things, and I'm starting to process this. But anyways, there's a long rant and ramble on a Sunday about. It was going to be about fixed blade knives, but. I'll do that one separately. This one is just a rant and ramble about Karens and Kens. Mostly Kens. You know, Karens, I already understand that. I accept that, you know, that not all women are like that way, but that's not unusual. That used to be called nagging or a shrew or something back in the day, and it was definitely just female terms. It didn't mean that it didn't happen back then, but it just seemed to be like we didn't have a word for it. But now, I mean, generations have gone by. Things have changed. So I'll end this one before it turns into a generation-long video, but just understand that this has impacted me. I'll get over it. I appreciate all the support that everyone has given me, and really, through your help, through your support in here, you people have given me more options. You know, the ability to adopt buddies, that was not available to me before. I just couldn't do that. Now I can, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And that's the whole thing about this channel. I can't do it really. I can still produce these videos here, but it's not gonna get as much as the interaction I get with people. That to me gets more than how many videos you got or how many views or how many likes and all this other stuff. It's the human interaction that I like, and I'll try to keep that up because I can prove I'm human. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.